Waiting for a new kidney. A team from Cambridge University has discovered that organs previously thought not to be of good enough quality can be successful after all. It means the number of kidneys available for transplant could double.
Until now, there's been a widespread belief that kidneys taken from donors who are brain dead but with hearts still beating are the best. But this new study by the university's Department of Surgery found kidneys from donors who've suffered a cardiac arrest performed just as well.
Our study is really a very in-depth analysis, and scientifically it's very robust, and it should therefore reassure even the most sceptical surgeons that this is actually a good way to go. But to be fair, I think most transplant surgeons are relatively enthusiastic about this. Potentially, we've estimated that there could be up to a twofold increase in the number of kidney transplants carried out. Obviously, that's not going to happen overnight, but if we can encourage organ donation from patients who have had a cardiac arrest on an intensive care unit, then we could actually see a substantial increase in kidney transplant numbers.
The kidneys positioned behind the lower ribs are basically a filtering system. As blood passes through, it's cleaned. Waste and excess fluid is sent to the bladder. Healthy kidneys also produce hormones that control blood pressure. Nationally, 7,000 men and women are waiting for a kidney transplant. Mechanic Paul Welsh from North Walsham in Norfolk is one of them. He had a kidney from his wife transplanted into him 2 years ago, but it was rejected. He's back on dialysis, 4-hour sessions, 3 times a week.
My life is normal for me. It's not necessarily normal for the person next door. But having a kidney would give me back that normality. It would allow me to do those other things. Those 12 and a half or 15 hours a week that I have to dialyse, I don't have to do that. I get that back.
Peterborough-based Kidney Research UK says the prevalence of kidney failure is increasing at about 5% a year, and it says 3,000 people die while on dialysis. It's welcomed the new research and says patients should most certainly be reassured. Kim Riley, BBC Look East at Addenbrooke's Hospital.
The police are hoping an artist's impression will help identify a man whose body was found near a railway line in Essex 10 years ago. The man had died from hypothermia and was found in Southend. This is one of 20 sketches released by British Transport Police in the hope of closing a number of files. A new survey shows a dramatic decline in the Greenfinch population in this region. An infectious disease is to blame. The British Trust for Ornithology, based in Thetford, played a big part in getting the information together.
Julia Leeson is a bird lover, and her small garden is busy with birds. Tits, siskins, the odd chaffinch, and she's seen what the disease trichomoniasis can do to birds.
All fluffed up, very lethargic. The bird is usually twice the size that it should be. It's all...
Yeah, that's sad, isn't it?
Very sad. Very sad, because you don't like to see animals, or you don't like to see birds or anything suffering, and they obviously must be suffering.
The disease has had the most dramatic effect on this bird, the greenfinch. But the chaffinch has also been affected. And now scientists at the BTO, the British Trust for Ornithology in Thetford, have a much better idea about numbers.
What we've known for a while is that greenfinch numbers have been going down because people have been telling us that they've been finding dead greenfinches or sick greenfinches in their gardens. The interesting thing about this paper is we've now got a handle on just how much the decline is, and it's up to a third, in fact 36% in some areas where they decline just in a couple of year period. And for chaffinches, they've dropped by about a fifth.
The only way to help the birds is to keep bird feeders and bird baths clean. As the BTO put it, make sure your restaurant is the cleanest in town. Mike Liggins, BBC Look East, Norfolk.
Tesco is resubmitting plans in a 14-year bid to open a store in Sheringham. The supermarket said the new planning application includes a design that would actually encourage people to visit other local shops. Tesco's previous application was rejected by North Norfolk District Council in March. The actor Martin Shaw has collapsed during a stage performance. The Judge John Deed star, who lives in the Norfolk village of Hingham, was taken ill during yesterday's matinee in Shrewsbury. His agent said the 65-year-old had been suffering from cracked ribs and a severe chest infection. Paramedics were called and he spent the night in hospital.
A mother and son from Essex have been telling Look East about their battle with cancer. 13-year-old Sam Doré was recently given the all clear after treatment for nasal cancer. But the next day, his mother Suzanne was diagnosed with cancer herself.
As they feed the chickens at their home in Braintree, you'd never guess what Suzanne Doré and her son Sam have been through. Sam's well enough to play computer games with his brother Ben. Now he's in remission from advanced, inoperable cancer of the nasal cavity.
It's nothing worse than seeing a child suffer. It's not right. He shouldn't have to see that.
The radiotherapy mask, like, it pins you to the bed like dead tight. You don't wriggle and the radiotherapy hits somewhere it's not supposed to.
Sam endured months of treatment and along the way had words of encouragement from celebrities including pop impresario Simon Cowell and the Essex singer Ollie Mures. In March, Sam was told he was in remission, but the very next day Suzanne was told she had bowel cancer.
It came out of the blue. It was not expected. It was just, we're back to square one.
Well, she knew that if I could do it, she could do it.
She did, and now Suzanne's in remission too. She's helping friends raise money for the Click Sargent Children's Cancer Charity.
She just thought her symptoms were sort of due to stress with getting Sam through his cancer. So when we found out Suzanne had it, it was doubly shocking. It's just devastating.
But fingers crossed, they've both beaten it. Gareth George, BBC Look East.